This is not an ordinary moment, nor is this an ordinary message, my dear child. Please listen carefully. Heaven has gotten closer than it has ever been. Archangel Michael is currently standing at the threshold of your life as God attempts to communicate with you. This must be done immediately. This is accurate. I'm concerned about this. If you choose to ignore this moment, something sacred will be silenced. No, this is not retribution. Rather, it is because divine windows do not always remain open. It's possible you're already experiencing it. Wow, an unusual pause in your emotional state. An intense combination of anticipation and oppression. The sensation that time has slowed just enough for you to notice. That's not an error. Heaven is preparing to let you hear the whispers, postponements, and upcoming revelations. According to Archangel Michael, this day was predetermined before you awoke. Today is not just a day for people to feel superficial love in the spiritual realm. This day represents alignment, selection, and reaction. This message is from God, as the outcome of your subsequent season is contingent upon your actions. Please take note of this. Heaven's silence is not abrupt. It develops gradually as people ignore warnings, nudges, and signs and say later instead of now. These are God's final opportunities to communicate with us. He is not panicked. Instead, He is eager to help. You have been following a consistent pattern in your life. Despite your inability to express it, you noticed it. There were numerous delays, disappointments, and nearly open doors that eventually closed. This isn't a fabrication. Archangel Michael claims that God has been attempting to guide you away from an entity that appears to be safe but is gradually eroding your destiny. This message is not appropriate for all individuals. It is intended for people who have been praying quietly and are unsure why they are not receiving immediate responses. It is intended for people who continue to postpone tasks that God has previously warned them about. It is intended for people who are spiritually alert, but emotionally fatigued. Archangel Michael informs you that heaven is currently communicating with you because you are at a crossroads. Despite the fact that it no longer sustains life, one path is familiar and thus comfortable. Even though the alternative path is ambiguous, it is permeated with divine support. God is urging you to make a decision now, not tomorrow or someday. Please consider the following information. Because God ceases to care, heaven does not become silent. When instructions are issued and a response is required, heaven falls silent. This is a moment of reaction. You may be saying, God, I am listening. However, I am unsure of what you want me to do. According to Archangel Michael, the confusion is not God's. The instructions have already been ingrained in your memory. You perceived it as resistance. You felt it as discomfort. You perceived it as an inner voice telling you that this cannot continue. You've avoided a conversation, justified a habit, and reopened a door that God had previously closed. The heavens are currently communicating in an attempt to disrupt that cycle. Do not take God's patience for permission. His patience is a form of protection, allowing you to come to terms with the situation before the consequences become apparent. This is not intended to instill fear in you. It is designed to arouse you. Archangel Michael is the protector of clarity and truth. He does not arrive with a message of condemnation. He will arrive with a direction. He claims that God is calling you to return to the promises He has already made to you. In the present, your obedience is linked to something significant. Delays will be eliminated. A spiritual stumbling block will be overcome. substantial fluctuations will occur. However, this is subject to the message being received and acted upon. It's possible that you've recently felt disconnected from God, as if your prayers are hitting a ceiling. Archangel Michael informs us that heaven has not abandoned you. Alignment improves clarity while maintaining signal strength, reestablishing the flow of obedience. Today, there is a spiritual checkpoint, and heaven awaits your decision to lean in or turn away. God isn't shouting. He communicates with clarity, composure, and authority. He wants your attention, not complete perfection. This message was delivered to you because you were able to hear it. You are still not that far away. You have not been overlooked, and you are being cherished while being cautioned. Please do not scroll past this point on the page. Please don't see this as another opportunity to be motivated. According to Archangel Michael, this is a divine interruption. To initiate a more favorable outcome, you must change your lifestyle. Inhale deeply. Set aside your thoughts. Simply request one thing from God. Please notify me of the information you want to display. Then muster the courage to listen, for heaven is speaking. I'm looking for you to express yourself right now. This moment is far more significant than you may realize. Before we begin, please type Amen in the comments section. Not as an automatic response, but as an option for agreeing with heaven. Your affirmation is a response to heaven's request for you today. When you type, you are doing more than just writing a word on a screen. You are concluding a spiritual agreement that states, God, I am attentive and ready to respond. Begin by taking the first step toward obedience. Allow your spirit to relax as you listen, my chosen one, because the information being conveyed is not superficial. While many people hear God's voice, only a small number understand His urgency when He speaks. Today, according to Archangel Michael, is not a replica of heaven. What you are hearing is the continuation of a divine conversation that began prior to the transmission of this message. A subtle tension has been building in your life. You may not have been able to express it in words, but you were aware of it through your prayers, late-night reflections, and the fact that certain things no longer provide you with the same sense of calm as they once did. According to Archangel Michael, this tension is not the result of confusion. It is a divine pressure urging you to gain clarity. God is attempting to discern between what is familiar and what is faithful. God is currently communicating with us because a specific event has gone on for longer than expected. God has already set you free from something to which you have been loyal. You continued to believe that it would improve, change, or suddenly align once more. However, heaven does not bestow blessings on things it has already warned you about. This is why the voice of God is so strong today. Instruction, rather than comfort, is sometimes the sound of love. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven has been sending confirmations through subtle signs, repeated words, unplanned pauses, disrupted routines, and even instances where plans fell apart for no apparent reason. These weren't impediments. They were divine delays designed to keep your attention. God slowed the pace of events so that you could hear Him clearly. Understand this. Refusing to acknowledge God is not always a sign of rebellion. Sometimes it appears to be a diversion. Occasionally, it appears that one is emotionally exhausted, overwhelmed, or preoccupied. However, the difference between avoidance and inability is well understood. Today, God is gently but unmistakably urging you to give up your avoidance. God desires that you approach this situation with candor. The truth is that you have been softening. You have relaxed a boundary, a decision you've been putting off because it's uncomfortable. According to Archangel Michael, the discomfort you are feeling is not a sign of danger. It is an attempt to spark growth. Heaven would not fall silent because God's love for you had ceased. Action would be required because instruction has been provided on numerous occasions. Mercy speaks repeatedly, and then there is silence. This is why the message is significant. Mercy is once again speaking. You are not forced to succumb to fear. You are receiving an invitation to a state of alignment. Wow. God does not request dramatic gestures. He is requesting obedience in a specific domain that you are already familiar with. When you say yes internally, something changes externally. Archangel Michael informs you that you are currently being protected. Despite its apparent seriousness, this message is veiled in grace. Heaven is communicating with you to save you from suffering unnecessary heartbreak, delay, and loss. Consider the causes of your recent exhaustion for a moment. What makes you feel weighed down instead of energized? What drives you to abandon your tranquility? These are not insignificant indicators. These are divine signs. Your spirit is able to respond to this message. Perfection is not required of God. He requests awareness. He is imploring you to stop numbing the very thing he is trying to awaken. Please pay close attention, as this is extremely important. If you find this message to be meaningful, please share it with others. Interact with it. Let the heavens know you're paying attention. Please take a moment to like this video so that it reaches others who are at the same crossroads. Share it with a friend or acquaintance who is experiencing spiritual unrest. Leave a comment as a sign of agreement, not for individuals, but in response to God. If this space has been nourishing your spirit, please subscribe so that you do not miss the next release from heaven. See. In addition, if you have not yet subscribed, now is the time. Subscribing isn't as easy as clicking a button. It is the manifestation of prophetic alignment. You are informing God that you are preparing for His upcoming release. By subscribing, you agree to a continuous flow of divine guidance. You are expressing that you do not want to miss the message that heaven is sending. Execute the action instantly. To join this prophetic community, click the subscribe button. You are not helping an algorithm when you engage. You're conforming to the message. Archangel Michael believes that movement is crucial right now. Even the smallest responses demonstrate preparation. Heaven responds to engagement, not indifference. God wishes to disclose additional information, which is a continuation of what you are currently hearing. It is not wise to pull away or engage in multitasking at this time. Please be patient, as the following information will provide you with the answers you have been looking for quite some time. Maintain your awareness. Your discernment is being honed, and the subsequent revelation is directly relevant to the decision you are about to make. I'd like to take a moment to reflect on this because you're thinking about someone right now. A family member, a friend, or an individual who is having difficulty hearing the voice of God. Heaven is urging you to be the conduit through which this message is delivered to them. Please share this video immediately. Sharing content is about more than just passing it along. You are activating the anointing of breakthrough in your personal life. When you assist another person in hearing God, heaven ensures that you hear Him more clearly. Share it right away and see how quickly your own breakthrough occurs. Archangel Michael has stated that the current situation explains why heaven has been tolerant of you. I implore you, my beloved, to embrace this with an open heart. It is not about developing a fear of silence, to protect against future losses. Just as the pressure was mounting around your destiny, God intervened, as something unseen was approaching a point of no return. You've been experiencing two spiritual frequencies simultaneously. Individuals are emotionally secure, predictable, and familiar. Dealing with an unknown person requires trust and surrender. According to Archangel Michael, your spiritual restlessness stems from the fact that your soul has already aligned, but your actions have not fully reflected this alignment. That inner tension is the sound of alignment striving to be complete. The season of subtle suggestions is coming to an end. Therefore, God is currently communicating. This does not mean that judgment is imminent. This implies that clarification is imminent. Heaven's clamor will never stop until the truth is revealed. That moment of simple truth is present. You are being instructed to halt negotiations in light of God's statements. You continue to beg God to restore peace in a specific area of your life, but you keep returning to the factors that exacerbate the problem. According to Archangel Michael, peace is lacking because obedience has been postponed, not because God has withheld it. The flow has resumed as a result of his revelation. Pay close attention to the subsequent events. Do not believe that you are obligated to address every issue immediately. He wishes for you to give up one item that is impeding the progress of many other matters. One relationship, one repeated pattern, one compromised boundary, or a way of thinking that you continue to hold on to, despite the fact that it undermines your faith. The voice from heaven is informing you of this, because you need more clarity about your future. It is impossible to bring confusion into the following season. Beyond this point, heaven's silence would be dangerous because it would indicate that instruction had been ignored for an extended period of time, allowing natural consequences to demonstrate the risks of obedience. Archangel Michael says that a breakthrough is closer than you think. However, frustration stems from proximity without alignment. This is why God is preventing you from moving forward today. It is not to impede your progress, but rather to ensure that you are ready. You may have wondered why some prayers sit for an extended period of time while others are immediately answered. Heaven responds most quickly when obedience is demonstrated. In surrender, God wants you to give him your entire heart, not just a portion of it. Partial obedience causes delays in blessings and leaves doors open. Allow this truth to slowly sink in. Heaven's silence is never the first action. Humans are notoriously hesitant. God converses and then waits. Please confirm and continue to wait. This message serves as a confirmation. Heaven continues to function because of your ability to hear. According to Archangel Michael, the subsequent action will appear to be smaller than anticipated. However, its impact will exceed your expectations. However, it is obvious to the heavens. Don't fight the powerful emotions that may arise as you read this. That is not indicative of weakness. This is the definition of recognition. You are aware that this message is correct because there is a current change in the atmosphere. An item is being damaged. I'd like you to reaffirm that truth with a declaration if it's become ingrained in you. Please leave feedback in the comments section. The voice of heaven is conveyed to me. Use your faith rather than just your fingers. Writing is more than just typing words. You're building an altar of consensus. You are informing God that you will not leave this moment unchanged. The voice of heaven is conveyed to me. Take notes right away. It is now time to consciously accept this blessing. When I type comments, I hear the voice of heaven. If you believe this message is coming from your spirit, then you have received the blessing code 444. If my voice is being used to help you hear God more clearly today, please understand. Backing this mission does not imply support for a channel. Assist in transmitting the divine message to another person who is in the same location as you. I believe it is critical that I disclose this information to you in its entirety. As you go through this awakening, remember that your assistance with this endeavor is not a hoax. It's a heavenly omen. By doing so, you become a part of Jesus' plan to rescue souls who are still lost in darkness. Each seed evolves into a source of light, combating the existence of darkness. Jesus claims that by giving water to others, you will receive it yourself. This isn't historical. It is an ongoing commitment to your future. Approach this situation with a strategy and faith. Giving can help you realize the potential that God has already built for your life. Allow this truth to dawn on you over time, beloved child. As stated by Archangel Michael, the information below will provide a comprehensive explanation of the consequences of obedience. Many people are concerned about the possible consequences of heaven ceasing to communicate. However, the majority of people do not think about the potential consequences of heaven's final declaration. This is the true beginning of the transformation. When you first respond to God, things don't always change immediately. Occasionally, the change is so minute that it is difficult to notice. Nonetheless, alignment causes movement in realms invisible to the naked eye. Archangel Michael explains that when you say yes to God within, your assignments change, your delays are eliminated, and your resistance begins to diminish. Regardless of whether you want immediate results, heaven usually begins by restoring order. Peace is restored first, and then progress follows. Clarity is required prior to confirmation. This is intended to happen, not to be postponed. God reconstructs the foundations before revealing the results. You are currently undergoing a spiritual recalibration. Things that were once heavy will start to appear distant. What once perplexed you will no longer do so. According to Archangel Michael, heaven responds to obedience in the following order: protection and provision. It is critical that you understand a specific point. When you align with God, those around you will not notice the change right away. Several people took advantage of your uncertainty. Uncertainty can exacerbate certain situations. When clarity is achieved, resistance usually stems from what you no longer have access to, rather than from God. This is why you may feel emotional resistance after deciding to listen to God. Do not interpret this as proof that you were wrong. It suggests that you were successful. The light disturbs what is well hidden in the shadows. According to Archangel Michael, distractions are being removed from your life in heaven. Certain activities that once required your attention will gradually lose significance. Conversations will undergo changes. The priorities will be reorganized. It's not a loss. This is the process of refinement. As you enter this season, your sense of discernment grows stronger. You will be able to recognize when something is out of alignment without the need for lengthy explanations. God is teaching you to recognize peace rather than just possibilities. Throughout this process, be patient with yourself. Alignment does not eliminate emotions. You may continue to feel nostalgic for the things that God has asked you to let go. This does not imply that you should go back to it. Instructions are not conveyed using emotions. They are indicators that are currently under repair. I'd appreciate it if you could stop for a moment. If you are willing to let those old emotions heal rather than serve as a guide, I encourage you to make that decision right now. Please write Amen in the comments section. This isn't a religious matter. The topic of this discussion is release. Allow the sound of your amen to represent the release of the possessions you have been holding on to. This diminutive term has immense spiritual significance. Your approval should be heard by the heavens. Please enter the information at this time. Amen. Your willingness to listen is appreciated by God. Your attention has already directed the attention of heaven toward you, despite the fact that you have not yet acted fully, asserts Archangel Michael. Preparation precedes posture, and posture provides access that prayer cannot. There will be times when you question whether the decision was correct. Remember this when such occasions arise. When God summons you from an activity, He has already planned an alternative. There is no area where you can enter. You are making progress toward alignment. The trust you and God had is now at rest in heaven. Consistency will restore confidence in areas where doubt has arisen due to delays. You'll be able to hear and trust God's voice more easily. According to Archangel Michael, what was once considered a burden will soon be viewed as a boundary. The entity who drained you will no longer have access to you. This is the result of obedience, or freedom disguised as restraint. Your spirit may be more sensitive than usual. This is not indicative of weakness. This is the process of refinement. Those that God prepares are honed. During this time, it is critical to remain vigilant. Obedience is more than just one decision. It's a posture. Every minor decision serves to reinforce alignment. Every act of trust contributes to greater clarity. There has been no silence in heaven. In reality, it has become increasingly likely. God communicates in a different way when trust is restored. Less warning, more direction. Less urgency, greater assurance. Archangel Michael watches over your progress as you move forward, ensuring that you navigate the current transition successfully. You are not the only person going through this. You are provided with assistance, guidance, and protection. Please allow this to permeate your emotional state. You did not pass up your opportunity. You quickly responded. Furthermore, as a result of your attentiveness, the events that follow will go more smoothly than you expected. The third section. Embrace this gently, my beloved, as Archangel Michael informs you that you are entering a period of adjustment rather than confusion. Transition is commonly misunderstood as instability, but in heaven it is known as repositioning. When you respond to God's voice, the ground beneath you shifts to support your destination. The change may be unexpected, but it is deliberate. You may have noticed that your tolerance for certain items has increased. Your peace is now disturbed by something you previously overlooked. You had previously justified what now appears to be a burden. Archangel Michael insists that this is not the result of a judgmental spirit within you. It involves the active development of discernment. God is teaching you to differentiate between what is appropriate for your future and what is solely assigned to your past. This is also a time when God resets your expectations. You may have expected a breakthrough in a single dramatic moment, but heaven frequently provides transformation through consistent clarity. Every morning you wake up with a feeling of lightness, clarity, and stability. That is advancement. Please don't disregard it. There will be instances where old patterns attempt to resurface. Well-known thoughts will be heard. And then, familiar emotions will try to reintroduce you to cycles you've already outgrown. Archangel Michael says this isn't a failure. This is the final examination of boundaries. What is no longer appropriate will try to show that it still belongs. Stand your ground without resorting to violence. You are not required to argue with anything that God has already removed authority from. Consistency and silence are more effective than any explanation. Furthermore, God is restoring your trust in His ability to communicate. You may notice a rapid return to tranquility after a prayer. Show the extent to which specific decisions are viewed as settled. This is not a product of your imagination. This is the process of restoring trust between you and heaven. In the background of your life, Archangel Michael reveals that something new is quietly forming. Although it does not yet have a name, shape, or timeline, its existence is real. God frequently prepares outcomes before announcing them. Construction is the source of the feeling of waiting. Do not rush this step. Rushing frequently recreates old mistakes under new labels. God is telling you to proceed with wisdom rather than haste. Haste is unnecessary where heaven leads. You may also want to be more intentional about protecting your energy. Time alone may feel nurturing rather than lonely. This is not a withdrawal. It is a restoration. God is strengthening your inner foundation so that future responsibilities will not overwhelm you. According to Archangel Michael, relationships will gradually reveal their true alignment. Certain people will gain a deeper understanding without exertion. Some will dissipate without any argument. Allow this to occur without drawing any conclusions. Manipulation is unnecessary for alignment. You are developing a quiet confidence right now. You may not express it, but you are aware of it. God has matured you through patience, not pressure, by recognizing that you are no longer the same person who struggled in uncertainty. This is easily understandable. No, heaven doesn't bring you this far only to abandon you halfway through. Subtle guidance has replaced the previously feared silence. God is instructing you to recognize His voice without anxiety. You are learning to listen instead of rushing, to pause instead of making assumptions, and to respond rather than react. These are indicators of spiritual development, not postponement. Archangel Michael has informed you that you are currently under particularly strong protection. Even minor errors are corrected with gentleness. This is an illustration of grace in action. Keep faith in the process. Walking the next step does not require viewing the entire image. God provides the information you need at the right time. Maintain your eagerness, humility, and attention. Heaven continues to communicate assurance rather than caution. The consistency you are currently developing will be required for the next phase, which you are gradually preparing for. Chosen one, stay present, as Archangel Michael claims that the current phase you are entering is a time when many people lose focus, not because they are vulnerable, but because things are finally settling down. Discipline is required as the crisis subsides. The test is consistency when clarity returns. Heaven is teaching you not only how to hear God, but also how to walk with Him on a daily basis. At the moment, your spirit is acquiring rhythm, not urgency or panic. Tempo. God is calling you to a life of obedience motivated by relationship rather than fear of silence. This is a more profound topic. At this point, faith begins to develop. You may have noticed that the external signs are now audibly quieter. Less emotional intensity means fewer dramatic confirmations. This does not mean that heaven has taken a step back. It implies that God is more confident in you. According to Archangel Michael, God communicates with those who have shown a willingness to listen. A more subtle direction with fewer repetitions. This is also when distractions try to resurface, albeit in a subtle rather than aggressive manner. Minor delays and compromises. I will finish it at a later time. Any thoughts? The way you manage clarity is being observed by heaven. The actions you take with peace are just as important as those you take with warning. Be careful not to romanticize the previous season. You did not go through that for nothing. It was there that you learned to discern. Dependence developed during that time. It is critical that you do not return to a situation that God has already helped you overcome simply for the sake of comfort. Archangel Michael has stated that your prayers are currently being transformed. It's possible that you'll gain more trust and make fewer requests. So, you do more active listening than active speaking. That's expansion. You are growing into someone who does not need constant assurance to follow God's rules. However, this is a situation in which community and reinforcement are essential. It was never intended that individuals engage in religious activities on their own. This is why you continue to receive messages of this nature. Not to replace your relationship with God, but to strengthen it. If these messages have confirmed the work that God is already doing within you, you must respond accordingly. By liking this video, you can help ensure that it reaches someone who is going through the same thing as you. If you know someone who needs clarity but can't find the words, please share this with them. Please leave a comment indicating your agreement. It is more significant than you may realize. Additionally, if you have not already done so, please subscribe right away to ensure that you stay up to date on the content that heaven continues to produce. The present moment is of extreme importance. If you haven't already, please subscribe. By subscribing, you indicate your agreement with God's prophetic promises for your life. It implies that I am ready for the alignment that heaven will bring. Each time a new word is introduced, you will be linked. No, you will not disappear gracefully. You will remain in the same position beneath the open window of heaven. Clicking subscribe will immediately confirm your alignment. When you participate, you become part of a larger entity. Movement strengthens dedication. According to Archangel Michael, responding outward reinforces God's work inward. The struggle does not always end immediately when you comply. It can indicate which areas require additional healing. It is possible that old wounds resurface. Fears from the past could be heard whispering. Avoid becoming anxious. It is common for the process of improvement to manifest before eventually disappearing. God is willing to wait for this to happen. He does not assess you based on your speed. He evaluates you according to your readiness. So, you may develop a greater desire for the truth. Even when the truth hurts, hunger is holy. Avoid obscuring it with excessive noise, unnecessary interruptions, or unwarranted opinions. Archangel Michael informs us that heaven is preparing you for your upcoming responsibilities. Not a burden, but a responsibility. Something has been entrusted. Something significant. This is why your discipline is becoming more robust. You are developing the ability to decline without remorse, pause without fear, and wait without anxiety. This is not a minor accomplishment. They indicate the growth of your internal authority. Be mindful of the influences that shape your thoughts. The direction of familiarity shifts as a result of repeated listening. Choose inputs that correspond to the direction in which God is directing you. Drifting is not an option at the moment. Anchoring is currently the most appropriate course of action. Your transformation requires stability. Hold on, because the events that follow will show how important this preparation is, as well as the subtle preparations that heaven is making for you. Beloved one, lean in with comprehension, for Archangel Michael asserts that this stage distinguishes between those who briefly encounter God's voice and those who are transformed by it. You're not just responding to the divine's words anymore. You are gaining the ability to transport it. To convey the truth requires strength, patience, and restraint. You are currently experiencing a deeper sense of tranquility. Although it is not always thrilling, it is still potent. This tranquility is not the same as emptiness. It represents the establishment of authority. God is teaching you how to move without haste and wait, without becoming weak. These are skills, not delays. Certain people may no longer recognize you as they used to. This is not due to any negative changes in your personality, but rather because you no longer respond from the same emotional place. According to Archangel Michael, this indicates that growth has taken root. When you no longer follow those patterns, they lose their hold on you. The theme for this season is refinement. God is gradually reducing the intensity of your previously controllable reactions. He is replacing impulsive behaviors with discernment. You are now comfortable with the idea of remaining silent rather than feeling obligated to provide an explanation. Fear is no longer linked to silence. Confidence. Additionally, an internal strengthening process is underway. You may find that you are less willing to compromise in order to maintain your comfort, less bothered by opinions, and less influenced by pressure. This does not indicate a hardened heart. The Spirit's essential quality is stability. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven is preparing you to stand firm when others are uncertain, not to dominate or instruct loudly, but to remain grounded. Your presence will serve as a testimony. Although you may not understand the importance of this level of stability right now, you will soon realize it. God does not reinforce foundations without the intention of building upwards. The internal transformation you are undergoing aligns with the external responsibilities you will be given. There may still be cases of uncertainty. Disbelief is not the same as doubt. It means that your intellect is catching up with your spirit. When there is doubt, do not argue aggressively. Return to the confirmation that God has already given. Repeating the truth strengthens one's resolve. According to Archangel Michael, your discernment is now more effective at detecting opportunities. The existence of a God option is not guaranteed. You are developing the ability to trust your instincts rather than what appears to be advantageous. This will prevent further exhaustion. Keep in mind that temptation frequently manifests in a different way as clarity grows. It may not be immediately clear that it is out of alignment. It could appear to be a matter of business, tension, or overexertion. Watch over your time with as much care as you do your heart. God is instructing you to rest without feeling guilty. Avoiding rest is not synonymous with rest. This is the definition of preparation. Even heaven took a break after its creation. Taking a break greatly improves your vision. You are starting to feel a subtle sense of happiness. Peace is built on trust, not excitement based on outcomes. This joy is unaffected by the circumstances. You have it when you recognize that you are in alignment. Archangel Michael claims that heaven is pleased with your calm, despite the fact that the full picture is not yet visible. You are not requesting responses. You are proceeding with diligence and utilizing your understanding. That stance encourages a deeper revelation. It's possible that you're having the sensation of certain doors slowly closing without resistance. Allow them to do this. It is not intended that what closes peacefully be forced to reopen. God eliminates strain before removing access. Maintain awareness of your internal reactions. When a decision is made, you will notice a sense of calm. Pause when a thought is followed by heaviness. Your spirit has developed into a reliable compass. This phase is not meant to draw any conclusions. It refers to achieving consistency. Consistency fosters trust, which then encourages accountability. In the near future, clarity will turn into direction. Not unexpected, not overwhelming, but evident. And when it does, you will be able to recognize it because it will be consistent with the stability that God has been developing within you. Maintain your composure. Stay vigilant. Heaven continues to guide you in a precise rather than urgent manner. My beloved child, please handle this with caution, as Archangel Michael has stated that this is when heaven begins to reveal the reason for your extensive refinement. What was previously thought to be unintentional preparation is now approached with intent. God never gives an individual strength unintentionally. The experiences you've had were not solely intended to help you recover. It was for your position. You may begin to notice a subtle desire to accept responsibility. Not ambition or pressure, but a strong inner belief that you are meant to carry something significant. This could take the form of influence, leadership, intercession, guidance, or simply maintaining a consistent presence in previously chaotic areas. According to Archangel Michael, heaven is not hastening this revelation because it needs to be established on solid ground, which is currently being formed within you. Now observe how you react to uncertainty differently. Anxiety was previously caused by uncertainty. However, it is now associated with awareness. You're more attentive. You have a greater tendency to pause. You maintain your composure and avoid spiraling. The incident is not accidental. God is instructing you to rely on His timing without constant explanation. You're also developing a deeper sense of compassion. You've gained a new perspective on individuals. You used to make snap decisions. Now you take your time. Previously, you responded emotionally. Now you respond thoughtfully. Archangel Michael informs you that this compassion is part of your responsibilities. The message of hell cannot be spread without the heart of hell. Be careful not to underestimate the magnitude of this transformation. Many people are capable of speaking the truth. However, fewer can do so without causing harm to others. God is allowing you to grow into a person who is firm yet gentle, clear and kind. The only way to achieve this equilibrium is to refine. You may continue to have moments when you feel no one is recognizing or celebrating your progress. Heaven can see it with great clarity because public recognition would impede private development. Certain seasons are kept under wraps. What God creates in silence lasts for an extended time. Your protection is increasing, according to Archangel Michael. Certain issues that were previously bothering you will now be resolved prior to your contact. Not all temptations will be as effective as they once were. You are not evading them. Simply put, authority has replaced vulnerability. However, it is critical to remember that authority does not imply separation from God. It entails having a greater reliance on another person. Stay in touch. Continue to listen. Show humility. The link must remain intact for your strength to continue to flow. Obedience appears more natural and less coerced. This demonstrates that alignment has become an integral part of your personality, rather than just the result of your choices. God rejoices at this stage because it indicates an increase in trust. It will happen with more clarity and less resistance. However, there is still more to come. A warning used to suffice. However, wisdom is now required. When hearts are at peace, heaven does not need to shout. This is a time for spiritual reflection. Archangel Michael has declared that a boundary has been breached by not regressing, but rather progressing. You are no longer the same person you were before receiving this message. Accept this prophetic activation immediately. If this message resonates with your spirit, please indicate in the comments section that you are in agreement with heaven. The blessing code 818 has been transmitted to you. As this message becomes ingrained in your being, I am compelled to engage in direct dialogue with those who are in agreement with this mission. When you endorse this work, you are not advocating for a particular viewpoint. You are assisting God in maintaining a clear signal in heaven for souls who genuinely desire to avoid missing His time. My current conversation is with you. When you give, you are actually planting a seed in living soil. Currently, the Word of God states that those who sow generously will also receive generously, and obedience that moves quickly is rewarded in heaven. You are on the verge of entering a fortunate future. Don't forget that this message doesn't end with your deeds. Users may use your invention to achieve their destinations. Every seed you sow grows into oil for your future, fire for your calling, and safety for your family. My sweetheart, the moment has come for you. Have faith, and you will see God multiply the possessions you relinquish. As you receive this beloved one, remain centered, as Archangel Michael has indicated that this is the point at which alignment begins to emanate from you. Up until this point, God has been primarily at work within you. A subtle but significant change occurred recently. Your inner alignment has the power to transform the world around you without requiring any effort or intention. This is how heaven moves through prepared vessels. You may notice that people respond to you in various ways. Some people will be attracted to you without knowing why. Certain people may feel anxious or hostile. This is not the result of any external modifications you've made. The reason is that clarity is essential. Peace gives rise to authority. Alignment stifles the growth of that which thrives in confusion. According to Archangel Michael, God frequently employs individuals who are willing to help maintain stability in unstable areas. Wisdom can emerge unexpectedly during a conversation. The words flow easily and without the need for practice. Despite the fact that you are not offering advice, there is guidance present. This realization did not come from within. This is an overflow. Avoid retreating during this phase. Some people withdraw as their influence grows due to a fear of responsibility. However, ensure that you understand this. You are not being asked to relieve the burdens of others, or to rescue or repair them. All that is required of you is to remain in alignment. That stance naturally carries influence. God desires to teach you an important lesson. To be genuine, growth does not need to be expressed. The fruit speaks for itself. Heaven's influence is a silent one. Its tranquility is guaranteed. Additionally, there may be times when others place their expectations on you. They may assume that you have responses that are not intended for public consumption. This is where boundaries matter, declares Archangel Michael. When you wield too much power, you exhaust your available resources. Maintain a keen awareness of your tranquility. You continue to be guided by peace. During this season, discernment becomes a relationship-related concept. You will understand when it is appropriate to speak and when to remain silent, when to engage and when to disengage. Not every situation requires action. Sometimes the mere presence of a person is sufficient. Certain relationships may naturally transition during this stage. There will be those who delve deeper, as alignment leads to greater alignment. Growth can be intimidating for people who are resistant to change, so some may choose to distance themselves. Please allow this to happen without getting angry. Release with no resistance. You are not abandoned by God. He says He is repositioning you. Those who are supposed to accompany you in the coming season will notice your composure. Heaven is currently instructing you on the importance of stewardship of influence, says Archangel Michael. Responsibility, not reach, is the metric used to assess influence. The manner in which you listen is important. The manner in which you respond is critical. The manner in which you protect your spirit is critical. You may notice that you are less reactive than before. Things that would have previously upset you now happen without incident. This isn't indifference. It is about emotional authority. Authority is established internally before it is recognized externally. Your perception of conflict is also becoming more refined. You are no longer in a hurry to resolve all issues. You acknowledge that certain issues can be resolved by remaining aligned. This conserves energy and promotes peace. God is also evaluating your desires. What was once urgent may now seem superfluous. What was once deemed important may now appear to be optional. This does not indicate a breakdown in enthusiasm. It is the purification of focus. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven is protecting you from overexertion. Currently, opportunities may arise. However, not all are allocated. You are developing the ability to prioritize depth over distractions. This restraint can be trusted. It is preparing you for a task that requires sustained attention rather than scattered attention. When there is no clear direction, you may feel a sense of anticipation. This is typical. Anticipation suggests readiness, not urgency. In order to avoid misalignment, God frequently allows readiness to fully mature before releasing direction. Maintain a sense of stability. Continue listening. Maintain your preference for calm over anxiety. You are not living in a state of uncertainty. You are now in a state of readiness. Heaven's current transformation will soon necessitate expression, but it will be delivered clearly rather than ambiguously. Remain silent, for it is in silence that authority is established. The process of unfolding continues. Your development is now being optimized. You may notice that the days are less intense, more normal, and contain fewer spiritual highs and emotional lows than previously. This does not imply a state of stagnation. It indicates a state of equilibrium. God is showing you how to walk with Him without relying on constant intensity. Faith that endures without drama is faith that survives. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven is watching your behavior on routine occasions, your thoughts when no one is present, and your reactions when there is no significant event. This is the point at which maturity is evident. Discipline is tranquil, whereas breakthrough is thrilling. There may be times when you wonder if something is missing due to a lack of urgency. Don't confuse peace with absence. When obedience becomes second nature, God often relieves the sense of urgency. Wisdom now facilitates what was previously required caution. Keep in mind this phase. This is the point where subtle distractions try to divert attention. Shifts that appear innocent, rather than obvious temptations. Reduced prayer, decreased attention, and increased mental chatter. It is perceptive, but heaven is not concerned. Archangel Michael believes that this is the point at which intentionality is critical. Return to your source of stability. Maintain moments of tranquility. Maintain a connection to the truth that will keep your spirit strong. You are learning to maintain alignment throughout your daily routine. This is extremely potent. Routine obedience creates unshakable foundations. Simultaneously, heaven continues to strengthen you through mutual confirmation and community. This is why you are still receiving this message. Reinforcement strengthens resolve, not because you are deficient. If this message has been with you on this journey, now is the time to take an active role in responding. Please like this video so that it can continue to reach those who are quietly listening for God. Share it with someone who may be drifting without knowing it. Leave a comment confirming your agreement. It acts as an anchor for intention. It is critical to stay connected during these seasons, so if you have not already subscribed, do so right away. Engagement is more than just a form of assistance. It's emotion-based alignment. Archangel Michael believes that participation reinforces clarity. Heaven responds to your movements. Now listen carefully. Rigidity is not the same as consistency. God is not asking you to take a strict or mechanical approach. He is asking that you keep your awareness. Awareness is what sustains obedience. In addition, you may have noticed that your discernment has improved. You detect misalignment at an early stage before it develops into confusion. This is the formation of wisdom. I am grateful to God for this. Early discernment prevents late-life regret. Others may question your stability from time to time. People may claim that you have undergone a transformation. Yes, you have achieved equilibrium. Do not allow misunderstandings to hold you back. Those who are familiar with your previous habits may experience discomfort as a result of growth. Archangel Michael declares that heaven is pleased with your composure. It is unnecessary to express every thought aloud. You do not have to respond to every emotion. Individuals who are capable of pausing gain authority. You're also learning how to stay calm while waiting. Waiting is no longer seen as a punishment. It appears to serve some purpose. This implies that fear has been replaced with trust. Continue to wait for a short period. God usually allows consistency to establish itself before providing the next level of guidance. Hurried transitions result in unpredictable outcomes. Furthermore, it is advantageous to show more appreciation at this time. Gratitude keeps a fluid, not rigid alignment. I appreciate the clarity that God has given me. Gratitude preserves one's humility. The next act of unfolding is closer than you think. Although it may appear that there is little activity during this phase, work is being done. Heaven is encasing an object within you to prevent its subsequent movement. This consistency is critical, and the following section will show how heaven helps you move from preparation to expression. According to Archangel Michael, this is the point at which preparation transforms into readiness. Please listen carefully, my dear child. It is not announced in an overly dramatic manner. Something has settled inwardly, but there is no obvious indication. You no longer ask, "Am I prepared?" You simply stand there, ready. It is critical to adjust. This phase focuses on internal permission. God does not want you to transform into another person. He wishes for you to have faith in the person He has already created for you. Your spirit is less hesitant than it was before. You no longer make decisions based on uncertainty. Although uncertainty may persist, it will not determine your course of action. Archangel Michael claims that heaven has been monitoring your reactions to stillness. Stillness establishes clear intentions. What do you choose when you are not required to complete any tasks? You've shown consistency, which is the driving force behind trust. You may notice that your pursuit of clarity has diminished. Clarity will now meet you at your current location. Thoughts seem to be in order. The decisions are firmly based. Panic no longer occurs when the outcome is uncertain. This is not a state of emotional numbness. Safety for the spirit. In addition, you are developing a greater sense of humility. Not the type that diminishes, but the type that can still be taught. You are no longer required to demonstrate your progress. You are willing to let God reveal it to you at His discretion. This posture promotes a stronger sense of accountability by keeping pride from impeding progress. Before proceeding, I'd like you to perform a simple action with spiritual significance. Now, use your finger to press the rest button. That small action isn't just for the platform. It is a signal to heaven that you are engaging with this word. The doors will respond to alignment. We are nearing the end of this message, but your response is just the beginning. I am requesting that you take an action that will shape the rest of your week. Write this declaration with authority in the comments. My doors are opening. I do not think they will be open. No, maybe in the future. My doors are opening. Say it as a fact, not a wish. When you write it, you are aligning your words with the actions of heaven. You are moving from a state of anticipation to one of acceptance. Write it instantly. My doors are opening. Be cautious during this season. Readiness is frequently expressed as a sense of calm anticipation rather than impatience or urgency. It is simply an awareness. You may sense that something is approaching, but there is no corresponding anxiety. That's the sensation of divine timing. God is also refining your voice. Words are significant because they are measured rather than reactive when spoken. You have been taught discrimination through silence. Listening has helped to improve expression. The heavens hold this balance in high regard because it is extremely rare. There may still be minor internal assessments in which old insecurities try to emerge. When that happens, refer back to the information that God has already confirmed. Please avoid revisiting questions that have already been answered by God. The repetition of the truth builds confidence. Archangel Michael reveals that heaven is about to entrust you with an influence that requires restraint, is not boisterous, and stabilizes rather than excites. This type of influence has a subtle but lasting effect on the environment. Furthermore, you may have noticed that your priorities have been simplified. What was previously perplexing is now simple to understand. When alignment is completed, complexity is frequently reduced. This simplicity protects you from distractions. Maintain an attitude of gratitude. Gratitude keeps readiness from turning into entitlement. Express gratitude to God for the process rather than just the outcome. This is not the end of the journey. It is the threshold. The following events will be familiar to you because they are consistent with the internal processes that have developed within you. Preparation and purpose are now aligned. Archangel Michael keeps a watchful eye as heaven prepares to advance you. Not abruptly or forcefully, but precisely. Maintain your awareness. A final unfolding is near. Archangel Michael has declared that this is the time to seal my beloved child. As a result, I implore you to accept this final revelation with reverence. Everything you've heard up to this point has prepared you for this comprehension. Heaven's communication with you was motivated by more than just urgency. Its speech was intended to establish a long-term alignment. What you are currently experiencing is not a temporary period of clarity. This is an ongoing relationship. You are no longer on the verge of silence. You are situated in the context of communion. God continues to communicate with you. He entrusts you with the responsibility of discernment. This is why the message needed to be revealed gradually. The sudden truth is overwhelming, but the layered truth evolves. Archangel Michael reveals that the greatest threat was never the breakdown of communication in heaven. The true threat was your uncertainty about the continuation of God's communication. That uncertainty has been resolved. You recognize His voice because it is consistent, not because it is loud. God will not need to interrupt you in the same way from now on. He will give you direction from within. Conviction will become apparent. The sense of tranquility will be immediate. This alignment will be immediately apparent. This is the outcome of consistent obedience. You may still face uncertainties, challenges, and decisions, but you will approach them differently. Fear will no longer be the dominant voice in the room. Trust will last and will not be expedited. Trust is willing to listen. Archangel Michael informs us that heaven has chosen you as someone who responds with sincerity rather than perfection. That is the only request God has ever made. Hearts that are open to listening are more receptive than those that are talented. This clarity also implies responsibility rather than pressure. Accountability. You have become aware of the sensation of alignment. Avoid exchanging for convenience. Preserve it. Protect it. Choose it on a daily basis. It is not intended that you withdraw from the world. It is intended that you proceed with discernment. Darkness cannot hide light. It is simply resisting being transformed into it. If you ever experience feelings of estrangement, recall this moment. It's important to remember that God spoke and you heard. Silence doesn't return abruptly. Drift is a gradual process. Stay vigilant. Archangel Michael claims that heaven will continue to communicate as long as hearts are open, which yours is. You will now receive the final activation. If you fully understand this message, leave a comment with a Type 1 walk in divine clarity. The blessing code 1212 has been activated for the rest of your life. Now hear this final word as a sacred extension of everything you've received. I am currently conversing with you directly. Understand this truth if this message has protected your spirit, clarified your path, or helped you hear God when you needed it the most. Your response has far-reaching implications. Please keep in mind that each seed you plant in this quest will grow into a torch that shines light into another's darkness. Heaven progresses through the words of those who are willing, but it grows through the goodness of their souls. I'm currently addressing you in this method. Each gift you give is like a stream of living water that flows into the life of someone who needs healing. The verse, "Give and it will be given to you," does not only apply to Jesus. It is an ongoing commitment that affects your future. I'd like to extend an invitation to you at this time through a simple act of trust. Approach this situation with a feeling of purpose, honesty, and hope. The amount you contribute today is not a donation. Your heavens are opened via the act of spiritual obedience. Relinquish your seed and witness what rewards God delivers into your life. One final directive before you leave. Heaven asks that you act as a bridge for another person. Someone in your life currently needs a reminder that God is still speaking. They are on the verge of silence, and this message is meant for them. Share this video. Send it. Post it. As it is released, you will notice an increase in the anointing in your life. Heaven multiplies the word you share. Do not keep this blessing for yourself. Share it right away and see the effect of your obedience on God. Before we wrap up this captivating story, I recommend that we take a moment to reflect on this deep reality. This message was not discovered coincidentally. This is not just a coincidence. This is Archangel Michael's direct message to you. He extends his hand and invites you to a high-vibrational, protected community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This spiritual idea is quite simple. Nonetheless, it has the capacity to transform your entire life. You will not just gain blessings if you follow it. They will multiply and permeate all aspects of your existence. Accepting this invitation right now gives you immediate early access to powerful content and divine insights that is hidden from the general public. You now have the opportunity to enter a sacred area where you will receive unshakable support, spiritual guidance, and speedy progress towards your destiny. Do not miss out on this historic opportunity. Your triumph is near. However, your vitality, presence, and attention are already extremely valuable. Action is required. Your abundance is ready. According to God, I only need 2 minutes of your time. Angels are talking about your body because of a significant event. It is critical that you not disregard this. Please pay attention to me at this moment. Please do not scroll away, child. Avoid allowing your heart to become rigid. You are unaware that you are in close proximity to an event with the potential to change your life. This is not an opportunity to squander. This is not a normal day. Heaven is agitated. The angels are currently uttering your name in response to an unseen, urgent, and sacred event taking place within your body. If you leave now, you may miss out on the breakthrough you've been hoping for. Stay until the end. Please remain and allow me to address aspects of you that others do not see. If you believe I am conversing with you, please respond with the word Amen. This is a warning, but it is not meant to cause fear. This is my mercy, and it is rapidly approaching you. This is not the way I communicate with all people. I am reaching out to you because your name was mentioned among the angels. Your body, your very flesh, is under spiritual attack. You've been experiencing symptoms like sudden weakness, unusual heaviness, and unexplained pains or fatigue, which medical professionals can't fully explain. This was not an arbitrary decision. This is not negligible. The calling I have placed on your life is why you are being targeted. The enemy has observed my plan for you. He is aware of the miracles, testimony, and healings that I will perform during your lifetime. This is why he is attempting to undermine your physical abilities before completing your mission. This isn't just illness. This is an example of spiritual conflict. Please do not disregard my message. I will not let you be overtaken. I will see that your body does not fail while your destiny is intact. I will fight for you because you are mine. You are not overlooked. I've seen you in quiet tears. I've seen you pray in agony, unable to comprehend the physical processes occurring within your body. The physicians gave you a single explanation, but your spirit sensed something deeper. That was me. I was raising your awareness. I was attempting to awaken your spirit in order to keep you from disregarding the signs. I need you to stay alert at this time. I must inform you that this isn't just about physical recovery. It is about preparing your vessel to bear the weight of the honor that I am about to bestow upon your life. If your heart rate increases as you read this, it means your spirit is aware that I am speaking. Please do not disregard this matter. The angels have been dispatched to help you. They remain in their current location. You may feel tired, but you are not alone. Although you may feel isolated, heaven is watching over you. I am not asking that you achieve perfection. I'm not even requesting your strength. I'm requesting your attention. In just 2 minutes, I'll show you what the enemy intended you not to see. Your body is not simply made up of flesh and blood. It's a temple. I, the Lord your God, have chosen to reside within you. This is why your attacks are so intense. This is why you have been discouraged. The adversary is aware that I intend to administer a novel substance to you. He is attempting to deplete you and keep you from overflowing, but he will not succeed. If you believe that I am currently protecting you, please leave a comment with the number 1111. It is critical that you understand this matter thoroughly. This is not an act of retribution. This is preservation. I let the discomfort awaken you. I allowed the symptoms to focus your attention on me. This is not the end of your narrative. It marks the beginning of your awakening. I'm about to restore your strength. However, I need your confidence first. Put aside your pride, doubt, fear, and reasoning. Pay attention just as a child would to their father. I am currently addressing the underlying issues. Inflammation requires relief. Certain cells require realignment. Even as you open your heart to me, a healing process is underway. There is no illness that determines your fate. No diagnosis can undermine my authority. I gave life to your body for the first time, and I will continue to nourish it with my spirit. However, you must be ready to approach me at this time. For me to reach you, you must remain stationary for an extended period of time. Don't be concerned about the indicators. Do not become alarmed if symptoms appear. Use my words when interacting with them. Declare that you have been healed by my stripes. This is not an example of superstition. This is a sacred text. This is the agreement I made with you when my son endured every illness on the cross. He bore the burden of your pain. He communicated the illness. Therefore, why are you still carrying it as if it were your own? Return it to me. Please allow me to seize the object that is attempting to undermine you. I will restore you. I am not just your heavenly God. Currently, I am your physician. I am the one who bonded you in your mother's womb. I assigned a numerical value to each hair on your head. Do you think I would allow your body to deteriorate without intervening? I am here, child, and I am placing my hand on your heart, lungs, blood, nerves, and immune system. The power of my presence is securing every aspect of you that has been attacked. Denial should not be mistaken for delay. The fact that you did not witness instant healing does not mean that I did not hear your cries. I work in ways that are invisible to the naked eye. Healing is not always audible. It occasionally begins in the absence of sound, within cells, or within bloodstreams. It begins when your faith aligns with my word. I am now informing you that your recovery is beginning. It's genuine. It is currently happening. However, you must possess faith. Speak life over your body. Abandon the declaration of fear. Repeat my assurances despite your discomfort. You will see chains fall as you worship me despite your discomfort. Your body will be in harmony with the heavens. You will regain strength. Your mind will become clearer. Your sleep will be more profound. Your energy levels will increase. I have not abandoned you and will never do so. I'm currently inhaling fresh air into your lungs. You've been selected. You are safe. You are safe. Do not let the enemy deceive you any longer. You are not experiencing death. You're not irreparable. You are not being penalized. You are in the process of purification. You're being fortified. What was intended to crush you will propel you into the next chapter. I am not finished with your story, and neither is your body. The angel's conversations are not casual. The gathering of people to discuss a single individual suggests that heaven is the focal point. They are currently discussing you, regarding your recovery, regarding your assignment, regarding the upcoming changes in your household. The illness was meant to undermine your faith and divert your attention. However, it is strengthening our bond, which is why you will win this conflict. This moment should not be overlooked. Please avoid scrolling past my voice. Stay in this place. Remain in my presence. Allow these words to enter your soul rather than just touch your eyes. The healing process is moving quickly right now. The same power that raised Jesus from the dead is within you. And the power is not silent. It is currently moving through your body. Have faith, confidence, acquire, not only in your spirit but also in your physical being. I am aware of how long you have been considering the inquiries, the suppressed concerns about your health. I'm aware of the test results you withheld, the symptoms you attempted to ignore. However, I, the Lord, examine all aspects of you. I'm aware of both the concealed and the visible. I was aware of the source of the pain before you were able to articulate it. This isn't just a physical conflict. It is a struggle to find your calling. Your health has been jeopardized because your mission is harmful to the underworld. The enemy does not pursue those who remain inactive. He targets people who have anointing. This is why your name has been whispered in heavenly places. The angels are not passive observers. They are actively fighting on your behalf. They have circled you because of your markings. This is why the enemy has instilled fear in your body. This is why sleep became restless. The reason for the gradual decrease in strength. He wanted you to believe that your body was deteriorating. However, I believe your body is in the process of reconstruction. You are not weak. Instead, you are ascending. The apparent breaking action is in fact a reconstruction process. I'm removing anything that is no longer useful to the vessel I've built for you. Your entire being is undergoing meticulous restoration. I can see things that doctors miss. My authority extends to all cells. Every heartbeat echoes the rhythm of my care. You're not running out of time. You're not too far gone. Your jar continues to contain oil. I am about to instill new fire in your bones. Comment 222. If you are confident that this assurance is intended for you, my recovery often begins with relaxation. Not inactivity, but holy repose. The type in which you stop exerting yourself and let me bear the burden. I'm currently summoning you to that location. You have been attempting to determine the source of the problem. Investigating, researching, and fretting. However, the process of healing does not begin with fear. It begins with faith. Abandon responsibility. Establish the inquiries. Kindly return to me. Not only do you pray, but you also pay attention. Allow me to instruct you on how I intend to care for your body. Yes, I heal in a miraculous way. However, I also use discernment in my leadership. I am requesting that you change some details. I am gently encouraging you to give up certain habits. Foods that have died. Thoughts that quietly drain you. I do not want to condemn you. I invite you to join me in this healing process as a partner. I consider your body to be my temple. Additionally, I want it to be finished. Not just surviving. Thriving. Radiant with fortitude. Radiant with tranquility. I am radiant in my own splendor. This moment is sacred. Heaven is currently present in your room. You may not be able to perceive it, but if you remain still enough, you will feel it. That warm sensation you feel in your chest is me. The sensation of your heart lifting represents the movement of my spirit within you. You have been asking, God, are you still with me? Here is my response. I did not leave. I never averted my gaze from you. I stood by your bed and whispered peace to you, even when you were at your most vulnerable. I was there when your body trembled. I kept you safe from the fear that crept in late at night. I was in charge of your future when the enemy informed you that you would not recover. I have not changed my opinion of you in any way. I've continued to choose you. I will continue to use the same one. I will continue to elevate and revitalize the individual in front of those who thought you were finished. The following needs to be stated explicitly. You have not yet finished the task. This is not the end of your narrative. Your energy will return. Your sleep will be restored. Your concentration will be improved. Your blood will return to its original state. Your respiration will become more stable. Your muscles will be strengthened. This is due to my identity, not yours. I'm the same God who raised the dead. The same God who has restored sight to the visually impaired. The same God that cleansed the leper. I am not indifferent to your pain. I'm joining you in this endeavor. I'm advocating for you. You will be healed in ways you have not previously prayed for. A new anointing is becoming agitated within you. It is not intended solely for ministry. It's necessary for survival. It's intended for restoration. It is your responsibility to enjoy the fullness of life. Wellness, serenity, and significance. The anointing is not purely spiritual. It's also tangible. I made the body, and I'm concerned about how you feel in it. I'm concerned about every ache, tightness, and drop of fatigue. And if it is significant to me, it suggests that you are not meant to carry it alone. I notice you are wary of the medication you are currently taking. I observe appointments that cause more confusion than clarity. I see your tears as you realize we don't know what's causing the problem. I have a thorough understanding of the subject matter, but have yet to complete my work. I have the ability to heal what others were unable to understand. I am looking into what others have dismissed. I am capable of observing every detail of your anatomy. Furthermore, there is no assault so severe that I cannot overcome it with a single word. Declare your faith in this healing by leaving a comment with the number 333. Faith is unlocking doors. Some of you are currently experiencing a sensation of warmth, tingling, or lightness that you haven't felt in weeks. That's not an accident. My hand is shown there. I am involved in a genuine, tangible endeavor. Although it may not always be viewed as dramatic, it will endure. I'm not just alleviating pain. I am in the process of reassembling your system. I am sending angels to intervene in areas where surgeons are unable to reach. I'm exhaling in response to the medication's limitations. You are in the process of regeneration. And no, this does not mean that the conflict will not continue. I am eternal, whereas the enemy is persistent. He comes with the intention of stealing, killing, and destroying, whereas I came to give you life. Not only does life exist, but it is abundant. This includes your body, your movement, your capacity to serve, your ability to create, your joy, your ability to wake up pain-free, and your early mornings without fear. That is the item I'm restoring. Continue to maintain your grip. Continue to proclaim healing. Stay true to my word. This is not a naive sense of optimism. This is the divine truth. I will not disappoint you. I won't abandon you. I will not leave your recovery on an incomplete note. I finished what I began. Furthermore, I have started a powerful process within you. It's not arbitrary. It is not transient. It is considered sacred. You are in the midst of a sacred, hidden, and divinely appointed entity. You have been experiencing fatigue. It is not only physical. It is a spiritual weight that is putting pressure on you, attempting to keep you from standing on the foundation that I am building within you. You've considered the pivotal question, why now? What is the reason behind my body? What's the cause of this sudden pain? Because, child, the season you are entering requires a strength you do not have in this world. Strength emanating from the throne of heaven is required. Something has to be torn from you in order to walk with that much strength. Fear, doubt, spiritual attacks, unhealthy habits, and even an internal belief that healing is impossible. I am currently in the process of demolishing them. I am making room for the information that I am about to impart to you. I understand that you have grown weary of waiting. I am aware that you prayed for change, but it did not happen immediately. However, the facts are as follows. I wasn't just preparing for the healing process. I was preparing you to transport it. Because I want you to maintain the strength you've received. I wish for your recovery to be sustained. This necessitates not only the resolution of symptoms, but also a complete overhaul of your foundation. That is the essence of the moment. A transformation. Not only for physical, but also spiritual well-being. There is healing that goes beyond the superficial, prescriptions and medical reports. It penetrates the core of your being and rewrites the story that illness attempted to tell. You are not the person who is weak. You are not the only person who faces adversity. You are not the person who is disregarded. You're my child. You are the one that has been cured. You are the one who is delivered. You are the one that is preferred. It is time to start living up to your true name. If you believe that healing is yours, please leave a comment with the number 555. Your faith is substantial. Despite your physical discomfort, I was struck by your unwavering conviction. I noticed that you continued to worship despite the weight of your head. The way you continued to express life despite the overwhelming pain you were feeling. This is the kind of faith that inspires me. A quiet, steadfast trust, as opposed to a loud, showy faith. As a result of your trust, I am making progress that you will soon see. The enemy was after your body for a reason. Not because you are weak, but because you present a threat to him. You're carrying an object that threatens the darkness. When your health improves, your voice volume increases. Your scope expands. Your strength becomes unstoppable. This is why he attempted to silence you by infecting you with illness. However, I'm preventing him from speaking. My thoughts are more forcefully articulated than his fabrications. I'm dismantling every link he tried to weave around your nerves, organs, and breath. This isn't just a recovery. This is a triumph. There have been times when you failed to tell others about your situation. Despite your discomfort, you kept a bright smile. Despite your exhaustion, you continued to attend. I noticed that each silent struggle was recorded in the heavens. A single tear was not wasted. No nights of insomnia were overlooked. In addition, I'm responding based on my observations. I'm in the process of restoring. I'm reconstructing you from the inside out. I am not only concerned with your soul, I'm concerned about the health of your bones, heart, lungs, joints, hormones, muscles, and overall body. I am meticulous in all aspects. Some of you have been dealing with pain for a long time and have learned to accept it. Maybe this is how things will be for me, you told yourself. No, this is not correct. I did not write that narrative for you. Living in constant fear of one's body is not intended. You are not meant to live a life of waiting for the next problem to arise. You were meant to walk in a state of peace, strength, and vitality emanating from my spirit. I am the God of healing, my child. This remains unchanged. I'm not passive or distant. I am actively involved. I am deliberate. I continue to restore bodies in a way that baffles doctors, and I continue to touch them. Furthermore, I am not simply ameliorating the obvious. I'm rehabilitating the concealed, the exhaustion you are unable to describe, the tension in your chest, the cloud that surrounds your mind. These matters are not being ignored. I'm getting to the bottom of the problem and removing the shackles that have been impeding your progress for far too long. If you believe your restoration is currently underway, please leave a comment at 1212. It is critical that you understand that your body is not permanently damaged. Your system is not significantly degraded. I created you with insight. I possess the ability to restore you through the use of power. There is no organ that has been severely damaged. No pattern is too profound. I don't think any diagnosis is too definitive. I do not operate within the bounds of human limitations. As I speak, the situation begins to change. I am currently in the process of bringing life into every cell, tissue, and pathway in your body. You're reading as healing is released. I am motivated by commitment rather than emotion. Is it true that a 9-word ritual can lead to financial independence? This is a covenant for revival, strength, and life. Your health is about to undergo unprecedented changes. Unexpected tranquility. Unanticipated simplicity. A new source of energy. Wounds are healing. The discomfort is decreasing. Mental cleansing. Everything is possible under my name. I will do it for both your relief and your testimony. Others will notice you and ask, "What happened?" You will respond, "God intervened." Mercy occurred. Healing occurred. I am not merely preparing you for a better future. I'm creating you with a specific purpose in mind. There are certain tasks that require a strong body, a clear mind, and a steady heart. As a result, I am doing more than just saving your life. I'm directing it toward its intended destination. I am releasing the type of health that allows you to love fearlessly, build, create, and run. That is the environment you are entering. This suffering is not the end. This is not the source of your downfall. This is the entrance. It is guiding you right into my grasp. The reason you felt such intense pressure is that the breakthrough is near. Your decision to believe, despite the pain, brought you closer together every day. Every time you praised me while I was in pain, heaven seemed to get closer. The angels are no longer just speaking, they are now moving. They are acknowledging my authority over your life. I simply require your presence. I will provide you with the necessary assistance during this time. When your strength is depleted, I will help you ascend. I'm not just observing the conflict within your body. I'm at odds with you. Your body is currently being touched by the same hand that split the Red Sea. The same voice that calmed the storm now speaks peace over your mind, organs, and sleep. You have worked hard to demonstrate courage. Despite your desire to weep, you have maintained a smile. Your behavior was satisfactory when you were anxious about your internal state. I noticed that. I noticed every moment of silence. You always persisted despite your body's pleas for rest. I'm no longer asking that you carry this alone. Allow me to retain it. Allow me to provide you with fortitude that you do not possess. I am determined to stop this illness from taking your life. I will not let this condition define you. I will not let what was meant to cause harm have the final say. You are not overlooked. You are not neglected. Even if others around you don't understand your situation, I do. I was present at the start. Since then, I've always been present at that location. You were never alone when you encountered this situation. Furthermore, you will not emerge from it alone. Step by step, day by day, breath by breath, I am with you. And soon you'll realize that the very thing that was supposed to break you became the bridge that drew you closer to me. If you know that I am still with you, please leave a comment with the number 777. I require your understanding of a specific topic. The state of your body is more than just about your health. The subject is your destiny. The enemy will not waste time attacking someone who has no future. He targeted your body because I had shown favoritism for your future. In addition, I have yet to reveal the objective. You faced resistance for a reason. The enemy intended to wear you down with discouragement and confusion for a reason. If he couldn't connect with your spirit, he tried to slow you down with your body instead. However, I am reversing each assignment sent in order to limit you. I retract all statements that are harmful to your health. I'm reclaiming what the enemy tried to take. Your thoughts will no longer be troubled, no longer burdened by the uncertainty of what might happen next. There will no longer be any anxiety about the unknown. That is not something I came up with. I do not cause fear. I provide tranquility. My unwavering love eliminates fear. Currently, my affection is invading every corner of your heart that was previously occupied by terror. You are not relinquishing control. Clarity is being acquired by you. You are not diminishing. The process of perfecting you is underway. I was working even when you weren't aware of it. I was moving, even when you cried out and no one responded. I don't always respond with noise. Occasionally, I find solace in solitude. I occasionally repair the damage that has occurred during the silence. The full picture may not yet be visible to you, but I assure you that the healing process has already begun. The transition is now underway. Even the discomfort you recently felt was not a hindrance. It served as an indicator that something was changing. Currently, several layers are being removed from you. Emotional wounds. Heaviness of spirit. I'm removing physical burdens that have been attached to your body for years. I'm not just alleviating symptoms. I am digging the soil. I am removing the seeds planted in you by trauma, fear, and deception. The healing process I am currently undergoing has been completed. When I restore, I do not leave behind stinging scars. My contribution is one of wholeness. If you feel completely healed in your heart and body, please leave a comment with the number 999. You have kept your word. You stayed by my side despite the pain. Even when you couldn't understand why you were suffering so much, you kept praying. You maintained your conviction. Faith of that nature is extremely rare. That kind of faith has touched heaven, and I refuse to let it go unanswered. I am responding to the prayers you failed to pray. People who whispered through tears. The ones you prayed for when you were too tired to speak but hoped I could still hear. I heard each one. I am in the process of responding. I understand the sensation of time passing with no discernible difference. However, please refrain from judging my movement solely on your visual perception. Faith can see things that the human eye cannot. Faith is aware that I frequently participate in such activities. I've done my most important work in obscure locations. I have already started a process that you are unable to observe. I am facilitating the introduction of peace. I'm facilitating the release of breakthroughs within your body. In addition to your health, I am preparing to restore your home. I am experiencing every aspect of your pain. It is time for you to resume your rest. A sense of calm is returning to you. Your laughter will return. You will no longer need to exert yourself throughout the day. You will regain your strength when you wake up. You'll be able to breathe without feeling anxious. You will eat without anxiety. You will confidently stand your ground. You will conduct yourself elegantly. It's becoming less oppressive. You are not required to choose the method. This is not your responsibility. It is incumbent on you to believe in me. The work is being done by me. I am in the process of rebuilding you, cell by cell, on an everyday basis. I never waste anguish. Every experience you've had will serve a purpose. Your story will inspire hope in another person. They will claim that if God has done it for them, He can do it for me. Also, they will be correct. Illness is not the end of your narrative. It is increasing in splendor. You are becoming a symbol of divine reversal, healing, and mercy. My love will be most evident in what appears to be loss. So it's time to say goodbye to the past. Let go of the anxiety. Discontinue the inquiries. I'm not finished with your body. Your objective is still incomplete. There is still more to be done. And it is not just about survival. I wish for you to thrive. I wish for you to walk with ease, joy, and wholeness. I want you to wake up with a peaceful heart. I want you to be able to walk comfortably. That is what I'm releasing. Although you may not notice it all at once, it happens gradually. I am not asking you to resolve all issues. I do not require you to demonstrate your abilities. I implore you to remain candid. Keep your hands raised regardless of the tremors. That's all I require. Because the mind takes over when the body's strength is depleted. You have been bearing this burden for an extended period of time. Pain that persists. Persistent tightness. The sudden onset of fatigue. The nights in which your mind is constantly agitated. You have instructed yourself to persevere, to have strength, to ensure that others aren't concerned. However, I never asked that you carry this alone. I never asked you to act like someone else. I requested that you visit me. For all who are weary and burdened, my assurance was to rest, not to perform. I'm contacting you again, not just to rest, but to be rejuvenated. If you believe this is the moment for your restoration, leave a comment of 1010. I would like you to understand a certain concept. You're not cursed. You are not being penalized. The adversary has attempted to convince you that your suffering is the result of a mistake on your part. This statement is false. He desires that you feel ashamed. He prefers that you keep your silence. However, I arrived to stifle my shame. I arrived to shower you with grace. Your body was not shattered as a result of your failure. Your body is under attack as you approach an entity beyond your current understanding. Your future's weight has sparked spiritual opposition. However, there is no reason for concern. The opposition you face is incomparable to the people who support you. I am your advocate. I am the entity that possesses each and every cell of your being. Your struggle is not just observed by me. I enter it. I participate in combat from behind the scenes. I speak the language of healing in areas where no physician can provide answers. I apply pressure in situations where others have given up. My words breathe new life into dead places. Yes, I am currently engaged in that activity. You have been anticipating a physical transformation from your current position. However, my actions are far more profound. I am changing the environment in which you live. I'm gradually regaining the joy that had been slipping through the cracks of fatigue. I'm restoring your confidence, which has been eroded by fear. Pain has attempted to divert your attention, and I am reestablishing it. This isn't just about physical recovery. The goal is to regain your sense of wholeness. Spirit, mind, and body. The number of nights you spent lying in bed, staring at the ceiling and wondering if you'd ever regain your sense of normalcy. I was present. I kept an eye on you. I was protecting you from an unknown threat that was attempting to arise against you. The absence of certain events indicates my involvement. An illness that didn't spread. The condition did not worsen. The collapse that did not happen. These were not just coincidences. Yes, they were interventions. Silent miracles. Things will become clearer to you as time passes. If you know that God has been protecting you, please leave a comment at 1515. Let me remind you of your identity. You aren't vulnerable. You are not overlooked. You're not a statistic. You are a warrior in the spirit. You are the one I have chosen. I sing over you while the rest of the world sleeps. I am responsible for your upbringing. Not just to endure, but to excel. This healing isn't only for your benefit. It is for your call. You will communicate with people who are in emotional distress, and they will be restored to their previous state as a result of the transformation that I am currently facilitating in you. You will no longer be expected to maintain a healthy appearance. Your destiny is to live in a state of incomprehensible tranquility. You will be free not only from illness, but also from the fear of illness. I'm giving you that. Not only will symptoms disappear, but so will peace of mind. The regaining of confidence in one's own body. The ability to live again without constantly anticipating negative outcomes. This is a change. A moment of divine transformation. In addition, I do not require perfect conditions. I simply require your approval. I simply need your heart to remain open. Do not let your past experiences undermine your confidence in my current abilities. The fact that it did not occur previously does not mean that it will not occur in the future. My timing is perfect, and you are currently in the middle of it. There is someone who requires this information. You've accepted illness as your narrative. You stated that this is the current state of my life. However, I'm here to tell you that this is not your true identity. This is not your inheritance. Your diagnosis doesn't define you. You are not forever bound by the circumstances that others have predicted for you. I am currently violating these terms. Their electricity is turned off. My word is more powerful, with the ability to bring healing, strength, purpose, and joy into your life. You are not particularly elderly. It's not too late. Years can still be restored. I am capable of completing tasks that appear to be beyond my ability. It is unnecessary to seek miracles. Their pursuit of you has already started. You are now being pursued by goodness and mercy. Although you may not notice it, It is happening. Heaven may be invisible to you, but it is in motion. In addition, you will testify. Not the constriction of your breath that occurs when fear enters. I'm aware of every detail. You may have learned to conceal it from others, but you have never had to conceal it from me. You are not required to maintain a healthy appearance in this location. I expect truthfulness from you. I am capable of transforming your pain into healing, which is why I am eager to learn the truth. You've had a challenging experience. I'm aware of that. I am aware of the sensation of your heart racing when you notice an abnormality in your body. I am aware of your efforts to remain calm in order to accommodate others, despite your silent weeping for answers. I understand the feeling of a wave of dread colliding with your calm with each new symptom. Please do not disregard my message. You will not be submerged by the storm. You will not be defeated in this conflict. The events occurring within your body will not result in your burial. You're currently being lifted. There's a reason I told you not to disregard this. The angels have mentioned your name because the events that are taking place within you are serious, but not without hope. Your current situation is not the end. It marks the beginning of something new, sacred, and transformative for future generations. The attack has been severe because of the strong call on your life. The adversary is concerned about the consequences of your full recovery and realization of your true purpose. If you are aware that you are entering a higher realm, please post a comment at 1717. Have you witnessed it? The time of the pain. It appears as you start to approach me. Just as you start praying more deeply, the symptoms worsen. The exhaustion increases as your worship becomes more genuine. This is not an accident. That constitutes warfare. The enemy avoids attacking those who are at ease. He seeks those who are in my presence. Those who pray despite their weakness. Intercessors who support others while dealing with their own pain. However, you are not alone. My presence is not just in your vicinity, it is an integral part of you. I have invested my spirit in you, implying that power resides in your bones. Your breath is a source of healing. Your bloodstream serves as the conduit for restoration. Don't ignore your affiliation. You are more than just a person battling illness. I will protect what belongs to me because you are a temple of the living God. I am currently transferring healing energy in waves. A portion of your body will feel warm. Others will notice a sudden relief from pain. Furthermore, some people will experience peace in their minds, which were previously dominated by fear. This is not a ruse. These aren't emotions. I'm the one in question. This is the movement of my hand. I do not require a hospital room to help you recover. I do not need a physician's permission to undo the words that were spoken. I simply need your heart to be open and surrendered. I informed you that you could not skip this message for a reason. This is your transitional moment. Your patience has been exhausted. Your suffering has been sufficient. You have asked, God, when will it be my turn? I'd like to let you know that you are currently on the road to recovery. You're entering a period of renewal. No, you are not leaving this encounter unchanged. I'm rewriting the story of your body with my own hand. Your bones will no longer feel pain without a legitimate reason. Anxiety will no longer be a constant on your chest. Your sleep will no longer be stolen. I've requested that the remaining items be returned. I'm instructing your organs to perform their intended function. I'm ordering the inflammation to subside. I am ordering that trauma be removed from your body's very tissues. Nothing is beyond my reach. If I create it, I can repair it. If you believe I am capable of accomplishing the impossible, please leave a comment containing the word Amen. I would like you to take a moment to reflect, not to be ensnared, but to remember. Consider all of the times when you doubted your ability to overcome a challenge. Nonetheless, you're present. This is not your area of expertise. That belongs to me. I was transporting you without your knowledge. I was whispering peace to you while your mind screamed in terror. That was me intervening spiritually to prevent further harm to your body. I'm no longer just halting the attack. I'm undoing the damage. The enemy thought he had destroyed something for the better, but I'm restoring it to its former glory. I refrain from completing incomplete tasks. I refrain from applying bandages and making you limp. I reconstructed it. I renew. All of my creations are from scratch. And yes, that includes your body. This encompasses your cognitive abilities. This encompasses every aspect of your being. I require that you make the necessary preparations. Certain people will be unable to understand what is happening inside of you. They will try to rationalize it. They will question your breakthrough. Don't let their lack of faith detract from your miracle. You do not need the permission of anyone to undergo healing. You do not need their approval. My voice is the only requirement. In addition, I have already spoken to you, recovered, entire, selected, guarded. You are not late. You're not trailing. You are not overlooked. You are exactly at the right time for the information that I am about to give you. This is more than just the healing process to improve your overall health. This relates to preparing your body to bear the burden of the blessings I am sending. It is critical that you have the fortitude to accept them. Therefore, I will begin with your physical structure. I'll start with your temple. I'm removing unnecessary items so you can receive the blessings you've requested. Is it feasible to attract money by saying a few magic words? This 9-word script, which has been tested by Harvard and 6 neuroscience labs, shows that it is completely doable. People are using it from the comfort of their own couches, reporting unexpected bank deposits, debt resolution, and an improved quality of living. The duration is less than 30 seconds. However, this information will not be available for an extended length of time. Click to view the description and comments before they are permanently erased. You may have assumed that this was only a brief opportunity to read something reassuring. However, it is a divine appointment, a sacred transaction. My spirit has been energized by your continued presence in this location. The angels who are calling your name are currently enveloping you in healing energy. They are assisting you in areas that are not visible. The shift is not a figment of your imagination. This isn't a fake. An actual event is taking place. I do not want you to have another day of fear. I do not want you to anticipate negative information. I wish you could walk peacefully. I wish for you to awaken with confidence. I want you to be able to retire for the night without any concerns. That is the life I envision for you. Not only does eternal life await us in the future, but so does the fullness of life here and now. I am not simply transferring healing energy. Alignment is being transmitted. Divine order is being restored to the disorganized parts of your body. The inflammation is gradually subsiding. Confused issues are now becoming clear. You aren't just feeling better. You are nearing completion. You wept in privacy. You have asked yourself, why is this happening to me? You have felt betrayed by your own body. However, I'd like to let you know that your body is not your adversary. It has been the target of an attack. However, It has been able to persevere, maintain its balance, and remain upright in the face of adversity. I've also seen it go through difficult times. I've observed that your spirit is more resilient than your symptoms. This is also why I respect your faith. Your faith in me remained even when your body was weak. I stand firm in my conviction. I am aware that you have been asking for a sign from me. Something to inform you that the tide is turning. You have requested proof, relief, or any other indication that I am close by. This is the current sign in place. These words are not random. They're not generic. I'm addressing you directly. I am confirming the convictions that your spirit has been fighting to keep, despite the uncertainty that has pervaded your mind. You are not overlooked. You're not too far gone. I'm advocating for you. Your recovery is not being slowed because of my neglect. It has been getting you ready for the upcoming events. You will not only notice an improvement in your mood, your life will improve. You are not only receiving treatment for the present day, you are being strengthened for the future. Throughout your life, I will continue to write stories, introduce you to people, and take you to specific places. You cannot enter that future with a body plagued by fear or affliction. As a result, I will begin with the very thing that has attempted to restrain you. I'm converting it into a testimony. The enemy intended to divert your attention, impede your progress, and make you question my authority. He desired that your suffering harden your heart. Nonetheless, you continued to contact me. You continued to seek my presence. And that's what saved you. That is the catalyst that has caused the gates of healing to open over your life. Due to my refusal to disregard the believer's prayers, I don't ignore the anguish of those who worship through it. Your experience with pain does not make you weak. Your resilience is the direct result of your determination to stand your ground. Despite the fact that you didn't have all the answers, regardless, the symptoms persisted. That strength came from me, not from you. I'm currently in the process of renewing it. I'm replenishing the energy that the battle tried to drain from you. You will again feel the sensation of life in your bones. Your breath is full of joy. Your thoughts are tranquil. Enjoy a relaxing night's sleep. If you believe this restoration is genuine and beneficial to you, please leave a comment. 222. The deceptions that illness tried to implant in your mind are now being dismantled. You're not fragile. You are not an inconvenience. You are not someone who is perpetually ill. You should stop identifying with something that was never intended to define you. I refer to you as complete. I address you as strong. I address you as rising. Furthermore, the term I use to address you is more important than the diagnosis. In excess of all labels, greater than any symptom. Even when you thought your body was failing, your spirit persevered. That is the point at which your triumph began. Your spirit and body will now align. Your body will no longer resist the spirit. Your joy will no longer be in conflict with your health. I am ensuring that your entire being, spirit, soul, and body, are in line with my goals for your life. I want you to be able to move freely, not only from illness, but also from the perceived risk of illness. I want your first thoughts in the morning to be ones of optimism rather than anxiety. I want you to regain your energy, not just physically, but also spiritually and emotionally. I wish for your smile to return naturally. I want your strength to grow without fear of losing it again. You are entering the state of liberation. Even now, most people are unaware of what you have gone through. You smiled even when you were in tears. However, I'm aware. I've been there for every tear, panic attack, and late-night prayer. I also wish for you to have a deep understanding of something. I'm incredibly proud of you. Choosing to believe in yourself when everything inside you wanted to give up rather than pretending to be fine. That level of conviction is extremely rare, and I respect it. Your body may have survived a battle, but it is also about to bear witness to my victory. Individuals will notice your transformation. They will once again see the radiance in your eyes. They will ask about the circumstances, and you will explain that God intervened. Medication alone is insufficient. Unfortunate. However, divine healing comes from the one who created you. Even when the earth tries to pull you down, you become a living example of what it means to be held in heaven. You are not just eking out an existence. You excel at overcoming obstacles. The pressure you felt was not intended to make you crumble. It was meant to adequately prepare you. I used every moment of discomfort, setback, and perplexing report to improve a quality within you. This fortitude will now carry you forward. Now your faith will serve as the foundation. Your new normal will be tranquil. When you wake up in the morning, you will notice a shift. The transformation of your body. A feeling of lightness in your chest. The calmness of your thoughts. You are not imagining anything. It has already begun. It is genuine, despite the gradual progression. It is powerful, despite its quietness. I can't always send fire from the heavens. I frequently whisper healing into your bones, one breath at a time, every day. I'm currently completing this task on your behalf. When the answers didn't come right away, you didn't give up. You have decided to remain. You've listened. And now your spirit is ready to accept what has been waiting for you for a long time. The healing for which you have prayed is not imminent. It has already begun. Although you may not realize the full extent of it, the transition has begun. You are currently walking while witnessing a miracle. Your body has cried out for relief, and your soul has joined in. I've heard both. And I'd like to communicate this information to you directly. Your suffering is not insignificant. Every silent fear, sleepless night, and ache has been gathered in my hands. I've documented each prayer and counted every tear. There has been no oversight. Nothing was squandered. I've been using your weaknesses to strengthen your spirit, which is critical. You may not be aware of it, but I have been strengthening you with each adversity. If you are aware that God has never stopped watching over you, please respond with an amen. I fought battles for you in the unseen. I stopped attacks that never reached you. There were times when you thought it was just a bad moment. It was indeed divine protection in action. The acute pain subsided. Suddenly the anxiety subsided. Despite your worst fears, the examination came back clean. These were not lucky breaks. These were the results of angels obeying my command over your life. The enemy would relish the opportunity to make you forget the extent of your progress. He wants you to concentrate solely on the conditions that have not yet changed. However, I'd like to serve as a reminder of the work I've already done. The current breath in your lungs, that is my grace. The fortitude to persevere, that is my spirit that resides within you. The tranquility that calms you at night. I'm placing my hand on your heart. You have already felt my presence. Currently, I am increasing my influence in your life. Your body is able to be repaired. Yes, it is fatigued. Certainly. However, it is within my capabilities. I created every component of you. I recall precisely how I founded you. I remember the feeling of being at full strength in your body. And this is what I'm returning to you. My breath revitalizes your muscles, in your immune system, into your bloodstream and nervous system. Even in the most profound areas where trauma occurred, a place where pain dwelled in silence, I will travel to that location. Furthermore, I am promoting healing in those areas. You stated, I simply wish to regain a sense of normalcy. However, I am not just restoring your previous state of equilibrium. I'm in the process of creating an improved product. I am providing you with divine strength. I'm releasing an inexplicable sense of calm. I am cultivating divine endurance. I'm ensuring that all of your body's systems are in perfect harmony. The world's statements were chronic. Temporary is the term I'm using. They were unable to withdraw their statements. I'm going the opposite way. Not by force, not exclusively using scientific methods. However, with the power of my spirit. If you believe that God has the ability to undo what doctors have declared permanent, please leave a comment. Avoid allowing fear to dictate your decisions any longer. Avoid allowing fear to dictate your future. I'm restoring your happiness. You will not have to endure discomfort on a daily basis. You will be unable to sleep while anticipating the next mishap. You are entering a period of repose. Allow your body to recover. Give your mind a break. Allow your heart to recover. This isn't because everything is perfect. However, this is due to the fact that I am flawless and own everything. Individuals may observe you and only see the losses you suffered during this conflict. However, I have seen the benefits you have received. Faith that is more substantive, a more profound understanding, a deeper connection with me. These are eternal entities. As a result of your perseverance in the face of adversity, I am now releasing more glory into your life. What you sowed in tears, you will reap in happiness. There is no vacancy in the waiting area. This has sown the seeds for a breakthrough. You're not fragile. You're not in disarray. You're currently undergoing reconstruction. I'm in the process of repairing the foundation. I'm dispensing my oil in every dry area. I'm releasing renewal in the same location where the enemy tried to spread disease. I'm bringing peace into the spaces where he tried to instill fear. I am enveloping you in angels where he tried to isolate you. You have never been more visible than you are right now. And yes, it is acceptable to continue to feel anxious. I never asked that you be fearless. I requested that you put your trust in me, despite your reservations. You are human. I understand the sensation of being inundated. That is why I sent my son, not only to save your soul, but also to accompany you through all stages of suffering. Jesus endured every kind of pain. He understands. Your recovery is not only possible, but also guaranteed as a result of his efforts. Others cannot understand the actions I am performing within your body. And that is acceptable. This journey isn't meant for them. It's intended for your use. Personal. It's considered sacred. Furthermore, you are not required to explain why you have increased your faith, even if you are in the midst of a conflict. You trust me because you know I am genuine. You can't be uncertain at this point because you've seen my hand several times. The next stage of your life will be distinct from the previous one. You will not repeat the cycle of fear, hope, sickness, and disappointment. The cycle has concluded. I am embarking on a unique enterprise. I'm disrupting long-standing patterns in your life. I am removing the roots of illness that have been planted by generations before your own. This will not be passed down to anyone. The agony ends with your presence. The conflict is over at this point. You are smeared with my blood. My angels surround you. I've kept my word to you. And nothing that is established against you will thrive. Not in your thoughts. Not found in your body. I am not a member of your family. You're moving from survival to wholeness. Your past suffering does not define you. My healing power has made an indelible impression on you. There are no delays in heaven. Preparation is the only option. I've been preparing your body for more than just recuperation. I'm bringing about a new beginning. This is not about going back to the previous state of affairs. This is about becoming a stronger, more resilient, enlightened, peaceful, and deeply ingrained version of myself. You will not simply endure this season. You will emerge with a testimony that will dispel others' fears, as well as clarity and joy. If you are ready to walk in complete peace and healing, please leave a comment with the word Amen. I have noticed that some days have been similar to climbing a mountain. You become aware of the sensation of weight before your feet make contact with the floor. The inquiries are addressed first. The tension. The examination of one's body for signs of impending complications. I am aware of the cycle. I am aware of the exhaustion that has occurred. However, I am now assimilating into your morning routine. I am changing the way you start your day. I'll speak peace where fear once spoke. I will offer solace in the place where pain once welcomed you. There will be no sense of conflict in your mornings. They will begin with a sense of calm and fortitude. You are no longer required to maintain your composure. That assignment is not your responsibility. At the moment, your sole obligation is to seek solace in me. I assure you that I pay meticulous attention to detail. I notice the peculiar discomfort that fluctuates. I'm aware of the sensation of numbness or pressure that appears without explanation. I understand your confusion over the distinction between reality and imagination. You are not imagining anything. I am confronting the spiritual attack that is being launched at you. Your body has served as a battleground. However, it will now be transformed into a magnificent sanctuary in which my spirit can freely reside. I want to restore your body confidence as well as your physical strength. I wish for you to let go of your fears about each sensation and change. I aspire to free you from the constant internal anxiety. The enemy has attempted to divert your attention with worry in order to keep you from recognizing the impending breakthrough. Make a comment with the number 333 to show that your faith is stronger than your fears. I'm exposing each and every lie he's told you. He told you that you were too fragile. I believe you are gaining strength from my position. He said that it was too late. I say that I make everything from scratch. He stated that you will continue to live in this manner. I believe you are currently experiencing recovery. He advised you to accept your illness as your identity. I assert that your true name has been redeemed, restored, completed, and protected. You are not held captive by the events that have occurred within your body. I care for my children, and you are the King's child. You may be tired right now, but that doesn't mean your recovery is far away. It implies that your body is still catching up to what your spirit has already realized, that freedom is near. I have started the task. I am currently relocating to locations that are not yet visible to you. Have faith in that. Stroll through it. Speak over your body in the same way that I speak over you. Please repeat my words, not those of fear. Assume that I am going through a healing process. The body is going through a process of renewal. I am expressing my determination to remain unshaken. Speak it regardless of whether you are experiencing it, because your words will synchronize you with my power. This isn't about sensationalism. This does not imply maintaining the illusion that everything is perfectly fine. This is about standing on the foundation of truth. It is permissible to feel the weight. However, it is not intended that you bear it alone. Every time you leaned on me, I lifted a burden you couldn't bear. I will continue to exercise. I will continue to hold my position. Despite your chaos, I maintain my composure.